Hola, amiguis. Welcome to Listen, Mija, the podcast where three Latinas at different stages of life share real stories, real laughs, and a whole lot of cultura. From heartfelt reflections to hilarious chisme, Listen, Mija is your go-to podcast for connection, authenticity, and a little sabiduría along the way. To all our mijas, mijos, and our amiguis of all identities, tune in for real talk and relatable vibes that feel just like a chat with your amigas. Whether you're here for chisme, sabiduría, or just a good chat, you've got a seat at our table. Let's get into it. My name is Jenny V.
I'm Jennie L.
I'm Stella Estrella.
Before we jump into this episode, I kind of want to give us a rundown of how the podcast is going to work. So I'm Jenny Lazan. Each episode can be based around a specific question that we're inspired by during that month that might relate to something like relationships, therapy, trauma, family, work, career, motherhood, and basically how our Latina backgrounds influence and impact our views on all of these things throughout our life. You guys might hear Jenny V's dog in the background.
Yeah, my dog is here. Apologies. It's her birthday, so she can kind of go where she wants, I guess.
Just one of the girls.
Just for today.
So we're going to start off really quick with an introduction of each of us, who we are, our age, background, maybe our relationships, and what kind of Latina we are, and our career, life, so to speak. Jen, you want to get us started?
Oh, I guess so. My name is Jenny V. I am currently in a relationship where I do have a child, but it's a blended family. So I got a teenager who's about to graduate high school, and I've also got a 5-year-old on the spectrum. We currently all live together. We make it work. And I don't know what kind of Latina I am. I just grew up in a Catholic family with huge age gaps between my parents. My dad was of the silent generation, military man. My mom came from a poor neighborhood in Neza, outside of Mexico City. But both of them came from massive families. They had 13, 14 siblings. I don't know how many. I haven't met all of them. We used to frequent Mexico a lot and visit family in various parts of the country, but I have lived here my whole life. I was born here and was raised by both my parents, and I have a half brother too, who was born in Mexico. So we were also kind of a blended family, I guess, because my dad had previous kids from previous marriages as well. So I have brothers and sisters that are well into their 60s, 70s maybe, but we don't really keep in touch. But yeah, grew up Catholic, raised. A lot has changed since then, since my father's passed. So you might hear me bring up a lot of church stories, either from my Catholic days or even going to the non-denominational Christian church that I attended for about 12, 13 years. And my old life as a professional dancer with a hip-hop dance company here in the Chicago area.
So what's your career life now like, Jenny?
My career life? Oh, my God. Well, in this economy... I've spent the last 4 years maybe getting laid off and finding a full-time, getting laid off, finding full-time again. I spent the last year doing mostly freelance and contract work. I finally found a full-time, but hanging on to a few couple contracts so I can keep the salary that I have. But I currently work in a marketing role for a hospitality company.
Hi, familia. I am Stella Estrella. I am actually recently divorced. I live with my 2 kids part-time. Well, 50%, we share custody. I have a teenage daughter, and I have a 14-year-old son. So right now, living on my own, trying to make it in this world that just keeps getting harder and harder. And I think I'm going to be a Martha in this Handmaid's world. That's what I'm thinking. I think I'm a Martha because I could cook really damn good. So I'm really proud of that. So I actually grew up in a traditional family. So my dad just passed, but I had my dad, mom, and my siblings. I have 2 sisters and a brother. So that's the setting I grew up in. We are Mexican-American, first generation here in the U.S. I was the first one in my immediate family to go to college, master's, all the above. So really proud of that. Hopefully I set the tone for everyone. That was my goal. Right now, I am working in a remote job. It's business, international. I just got a new position, so I'm actually going to be starting that on Tuesday. I know, I'm so excited. Huge company, so it's going to be a change. I am actually in a very committed relationship. We are long distance, though. I am 41 years young. Yes, lady, age, fine wine. I am the elder of the Jennies over here. And my boyfriend is actually 14 years younger. Do not judge. Come on, good vibes only. He is 27 and lives in New Jersey. So that's my life in a nutshell. And how about you, Jen Jen?
So I'm Jenny Lizan, also formerly known as Jenny Veguilla. I'm 39. So my background in terms of cultura is I'm Puerto Rican and Mexican American. My mom is Puerto Rican. I don't know my biological father, but he is the side where my Mexican culture comes from. I am in a long-term relationship. Me and my partner have been together 13 years, actually, this past weekend. And unlike Stella, Dwight is much older than me. I'm 39. He is 48. So we're 9 years.
I go the other way. Sorry, girl.
We're
I
9
go the
years
other way.
apart. But we have also, similar to Jenny, we are in a blended family. I have a daughter from my first marriage, and she is 17. She's actually besties with Stella's daughter, and they're both friends pretty much with Jenny's oldest daughter as well.
Who is amazing, by the way. She is the perfect teenager. If you were to meet her, you're like, what? You're a teenager? Yeah, you're an old spirit. You're amazing. And then she meets our kids, Jen Jen, and they're like, what is that? That's a teenager.
But yeah, so my oldest is from my first marriage. We have been divorced since she was very young, and Dwight has been in her life since she was about 4. And then Dwight and I also have 2 other children, our middle daughter, who is 12, and our youngest, who is our son, and he is 2 years old. So I'm kind of like back in the throes of motherhood again.
I might join you soon. You never know.
And it's interesting because our blended family, we have kind of a mesh of cultures. So like I said, I'm Hispanic, Puerto Rican, Mexican, American, and Dwight is Filipino. So we have this like kind of like culture mesh within our family. It's not really a clash because I noticed that a lot of Filipino culture blends really well with Puerto Rican and Mexican culture. It's almost like we're like primos, like not me and Dwight, that's weird, but like our culture is very similar in terms like there's that running joke that Filipinos and then like Hispanics we're cultural cousins. So our life kind of like melded really nicely together in terms of like food and background and lifestyle and stuff like that. But we've been together for a very long time. And in terms of career, I'm kind of at like this, not an impasse, but like a pivot with my career. I was an adjunct professor. Stella was as well, even though she's this corporate girly.
Wait, I was the teacher of both of the Jennies, by the way. I started the trend, and then my Jenny joined, and then our other Jenny.
That's a whole other episode.
Yes.
Oh my God, I was teaching.
That's a whole other episode.
So much fun.
Yes.
So much fun.
So I taught in higher ed in the marketing and design arena for over a decade, 11 years. 2 years ago, I stepped back because I'd been dealing with some health problems. And I had my little one at the same time. And so I stepped away from higher ed and teaching at institutions, and I was focusing on my freelance work as well as teaching online. So kind of similar to Jenny, I worked in the corporate marketing world for a very long time in addition to teaching. That's kind of like a common thread that you see within higher education. A lot of the teachers are teaching multiple positions and working additional jobs within the field. But I stepped back and I was focusing on teaching classes online. I'm a top teacher over on a very creative platform you guys have probably seen ads for on YouTube all over the place. And I also freelance doing graphic design and illustration work. So this past year, because of my health issue, I found out I have an autoimmune disease. I needed to take a step back and kind of figure out what I'm doing in terms of work. And I'm not working full-time currently. I'm kind of trying to pivot to figure out what can I do to work from home full-time. I'm continuing to teach online, release classes as I'm capable. And then I'll probably in the next year or two, hoping like my condition, I get it under control and manage, I'll probably start back into the freelance world, taking on clients as needed. But it's kind of interesting to see like we all kind of come from these similar career backgrounds, but we're at different places in terms of like where you land on your feet throughout your career as you grow. Like, I feel like I've taken a step back, whereas I used to be the person that's like working 3 jobs, and now I can't do that, so I'm having like a career crisis.
No, you need a break.
Identity
Yeah, you
Yes.
can only do so many gigs so long. You can only
Yeah,
work so much.
Yes.
You need to step back sometimes.
And that's true. I think that's a good idea for a podcast episode too, just the gig economy, because that's essentially what we did for a long time with
So long.
freelance.
Seriously.
Yeah. So that's me.
I should
and-
clarify, I have never been married.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I know,
honestly.
but like both y'all were talking about marriages, like one ended a marriage, you have a child from a previous marriage. I have never been married.
And that's okay. Me and Dwight, we've been together, 13 years, and we still haven't gone.
Well, isn't it common
right?
law marriage? Like,
I
isn't
mean-
that like, just thinking.
But it's just crazy to think about like the waves that you
Yeah.
go through, like just how different like even parenting, co-parenting is when you're just ending a marriage, when you've just ended a relationship, like, you know, and like this new person is raising your child too, like, so, but yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that goes with that too,
Oh my
trauma-wise, and like trying to figure out the balance. I think that
Yeah.
should be an episode too that we.
We're
talk
just
about.
adding them on.
I know,
Oh my
we're just
God.
piling it on. All right.
Just
One at
add
a
them
time, though, guys. One at a time.
Definitely.
But we've got a fun one for you, at least, to start off with.
Yes.
I like this one.
So that way we can, you probably get to know us pretty well after this one.
Yes, we wanted to start off with
Please don't hide.
something lighthearted and a bit fun, especially because, like we said, we're all at like different points in terms of a relationship. Jenny's in a longer term. I've been in the longest relationship, and then Stella is still pretty fresh. Like
It's newer, yeah, it's definitely newer. But it's also a little different because we're not in the same state.
Yes,
And
yes.
he's a little bit younger than me, even though he's so mature. And then there's me. I am so not mature. So you'll see, I'm the elder here, but I'm also probably the most immature. So
I wouldn't say immature.
Just hide.
It's because you're young at heart.
That's what it is. That's really what it is.
yeah, I'm like a 7-year-old. I'm right here trying to get Jenny's daughter to get me a donut, and she's like,
Yeah,
"No, I'm
see?
ignoring you. No." Okay.
All right, so this first episode, we wanted to talk about relationships. So, what crosses the line into crazy girlfriend territory? So, we want to share some funny examples,
Yikes.
stories, and things that maybe we have done. And then I did some research because I'm the research buff here.
Oh, yeah.
And I love like scrolling through Reddit because I'm a nerd like that. And I found some great stories that kind of relate to this that I think we should share too.
Sounds good.
Stella, do you want to start us?
Oh my gosh, why me?
Right
They're both
off
looking
the
at me,
bat.
by the way. They're both looking at me. I'm like, damn
Well,
Damn it.
this one was your idea.
It was my idea because I thought it would be something fun that we all relate to. Doesn't matter what gender you are. Doesn't matter if you're gay, straight. It doesn't matter because we've all crossed into the territory or borderline of crazy girlfriend, boyfriend.
Yep.
We've all done that. I recently did a crazy one and I did admit it to my boyfriend. He got mad. Everything's good now, but I admitted it. Fake profiles to monitor social media. Who else has done this?
But also to
Raise your
clarify,
hand.
we kind of like push Stella to kind of be like, I think you gotta have to like come clean.
conversation.
I wanted to. I was feeling
Because-
guilty. I was like, I need to admit this stuff because, yes, I've been doing crazy stuff. I think the long distance does get to your head.
Yes.
The newer relationship, like you're new in the relationship world
Again.
again. So it's a little scary. So fake profiles. So I pretended to be someone else on Snapchat. I made a fake profile, but my dumb butt didn't realize it was linked to my current one, so it would pop up as Stella. So my boyfriend accepted it, thinking it was me. And then he's like, hey, why are you creating a new profile? I'm like, I'm totally not. What are you talking about? And then I realized, I was like, oh, damn. So I had to change the number. I don't know if that worked or not, but it still came up like that. But then I pretended to be someone else in that profile, asking him a ton of questions just to basically find out things. And I don't know why I have that doubt. I don't know why I'm doing this. A lot of you are in the same situation. You're just like, does he love me? Does he not? I know he had like 2 great loves in his life. Like, I know about that. And I'm just kind of afraid that he was still in love with one of them. So that's why I did that, asking questions, being a stalker. Not cool. I know that. And I admitted it to him. He was upset, but I think he forgave me. And
I mean, I don't totally blame you, Stella, because I tend to spiral a lot too. Like as soon as you see something that doesn't feel right, and like you have your suspicions. You spiral, right? I mean, I haven't done shit as crazy as Stella has, but
Oh my God, it was just a Snapchat profile. Other than just like monitoring on, like Instagram, like which girl's profiles
but
is he
don't think
liking?
I don't want to step into the crazy and like DM some of these people that are like probably messaging your man and be like, "Hey, bitch, step off. Who are you?"
Do you want me to message him for you?
Please,
I
yeah,
got
maybe
your back. I got your back.
maybe someone else has
Well,
to do
I
it.
feel like there's this deep-seated, like, when you have a long distance relationship, right? There's this deep-seated, like, not guilt, but like fear. Yes, a fear of, is this gonna work? Especially when you're not able to see each other all the time. Who are they with? So I feel like there's this psychology behind it that creates that fear and that worry that then will lead you to spiral and make some not so healthy decisions when it comes to that. But I think a big part of that too is like being upfront and communicating with each other about it. Like, I'm fucking scared that you could potentially cheat on me because you're half the country away from me.
Plus, you're freshly divorced.
Yeah.
You've got 2 kids, teenage kids. You know what I mean?
Teenage kids,
So
oh
it's like you
gosh.
got the quote unquote baggage, right?
Yeah.
Like why would a young man in his 20s be interested in someone like me, which you're really fucking hot, Stella. So of course that's not
gorgeous.
that's
And
not the
smart
thing. But
and
you
funny.
come with 2 grown ass kids. Like
And to be honest, one of them isn't easy. Well, both of them cannot be. But the thing is, I don't look at it as baggage. I look at it as coming with some spice. Like, who wants a boring
spice.
cookie?
I love that.
Who wants a boring vanilla or whatever, in our case, cocoa cookie, whatever, without some spice?
Yeah.
They're my spice. It's just adding to this world. And I think, I don't ever think of them as baggage. I think it's spice, but I understand what you mean. It's like he could be dating someone his own age, someone a little older, maybe over there near him, but we just connected. For me, I think it's more of a self-sabotage kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Like,
that
I'm like,
too, for
maybe I
sure.
don't deserve this. Maybe I don't deserve to move on. Maybe I have guilt because I did this to the kids. Like, I have more guilt with the kids, I think, than myself. Me and my ex are in great terms. Like, good terms, good co-parenting. I've been so lucky. It's more of a me self-sabotaging with this guy. I am in love with him, and I'm just scared. Like, what if he's still stuck on that one girl? And I think it's when I did my fake profile, I asked him a question, who do you wish I was? And he said her name. And I asked, who gave you the best sex? He said her name.
Okay, but why the fuck would you ask that?
Because I wanted to know. It's
so crazy,
self-sabotaging
Stella.
again. But he told me when I admitted it, he's like, I knew it was you. Because, again, it showed up as me at first,
Right,
being
of
dumb.
course.
But then I pretended not to be. And he's like, oh, yeah, you don't know how to make an extra profile on Snapchat.
So do you think he was still treading carefully, like, even though he kind of probably knew that it was you?
I don't know. He told me he did it on purpose. But since then, I've been so damn self-conscious. I was like, oh, it is her. Maybe he didn't know it was me. Maybe he thought it was someone else, and it is her. So I have that thought of her. And I'm going to admit it. I do creep on her. I do check on her social media. Hers is private, but her boyfriend's isn't.
Yeah.
And I creep on there, and I see them all super happy. And I'm just like, okay, maybe she's not a threat, but maybe he's still in love with her.
Got you.
And that just gets in your head, and you self-sabotage, and then you get angry, and you're just, when did I enter the crazy girlfriend territory? Have I entered, or am I borderline? That's the question.
I think, too, it's the comparison trap, too.
Yeah.
Where you're comparing yourself to other people. And what is
Yeah.
that? Comparison is a thief of joy. So the fact that you guys talked about it, what if you get beyond that? You've communicated that. Have you asked, like, am I the one for you? Is this long-term? Is this commitment? Are you ready for this? Like, what are we going to do beyond that? Because I also think about it, and I was thinking about this, not that our kids are baggage, but, like, when you get into a relationship with someone else and you have a child, it's like, that guilt is huge, right?
Yeah.
But then those kids are going to grow up and they're going to build their own lives and they're going to have their own relationships and their own family, and you are stuck with that person at the end. And because I have that guilt too, where like I don't ever want anyone to think that I'm choosing my partner over my kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but in the long run, don't you deserve to be happy too? And and when the grand scheme of things, you're going to end up with him if you guys decide to move forward with this commitment, right?
Exactly.
You're going to grow old with him,
and they're
your
going to
kids
leave.
are going to leave.
They're going to
Yeah,
leave, and I'm going to end up
exactly.
alone. Which is not bad. You know, I'll be the 70-year-old at the bar drinking. Like, yeah, that would be
Spinster
me.
Tia.
Yes,
Spinster
why not?
Tia.
There's nothing wrong with the Spencer Dia. You know, I'll be like the one all dressed up at Loteria night, you know, busted with my tequila. Like, come on.
I mean, I'm already going through my senora phase, so like that's neither here nor there. Even though Stella's like the elder of us, I'm not that far behind you. I already wear like my bata, my
Each a year apart now that I think about it. 29, 40, 41.
Oh my gosh. I think we're just fine wine. Like, honestly, think about it. This is a year of our age.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
We're fine wine. The younger men want us.
Yeah,
Case in point.
weird topic, but I just watched Bridget Jones,
Oh
like
my
the new one.
I love that movie. I cried so
The
hard.
new one, like Mad About a Boy, and like she, like, you know, Darcy passed away. It's been like 4 years. She starts banging this young 29-year-old.
I thought he was 25.
20. No, he said 28 at first, and then he's like, just kidding, I'm 29. Like that made a huge difference.
Damn it, he's older than mine.
But she's 47 in this movie, right? And she's got 2 kids. And I had a point here, now I totally forgot it. But it was,
Sorry.
it's just the fact that like she doesn't know how to handle like a younger guy, and she gets ghosted at some point.
Ooh.
So like, but she also is like not handling it well. Like she's kind of doing a bit of some cringy shit to try and like get back in touch with him.
But do you think she entered that crazy girlfriend territory?
No,
My
not-
ass would have like shown up there.
Yeah, no,
would've shown
I
up
get
there.
I also
that,
feel
or
like it's 'cause you
accidentally
care
show
so
up.
much.
You do care. You will show up there and you'll make it evident. Like, I'm here. Hear me roar. Do not ghost me
Right.
again, young boy, or I'll set you straight. Like, that would have been me as Bridget Jones, you know, with the British accent, of course.
Fake
Jenny,
British
do you
accent.
have any?
I mean, I do creep on my current boyfriends. Oh, let me put it this way. So my current partner, he is a gym coach.
It comes with a lot of...
There's a lot of women.
Wait, gym coach? Is that like at a workout place?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like at school.
Oh,
I'm like, wait.
no. Like like at a workout place. I don't want to reveal too much, so
Gotcha.
because I don't need any more people showing up.
We didn't need to dox ourselves.
You know, and really the only reason he ever posts on social media is really for the people that go to his classes. And he'll repost stuff, you know, like people achieving their goals and stuff, but I creep. Like I creep on everything. Like I creep on the people that he tags. I creep on the people that are tagging him in photos. Just so I can get a better understanding of what this relationship is like. Like we're keeping it professional, right? Like this is all profesh. It's just like a weird industry to be in when it's just there's like so much like female presentation, like a lot of women that are coming in. You get nervous, you know, like especially when you get to a certain point, there's not as much sex happening. You are going through a lot of like tired as fuck phases, like trying to raise 2 kids, one on the spectrum, trying to keep the lights on, the food on the table. Like you reach this point where like things are just hard. So you worry that maybe he's trying to get it somewhere else. So you do a little creepage. I haven't DM'd anybody. I've been tempted. I will say, like, in my younger days, like when I was in my 20s, yeah, I probably got a little bit more on the crazy side, but this was also before social media. So, like, I don't even remember, like, a fight that I had with a boyfriend, and I was going to, like I said, I was a dancer before, so I was going to a rehearsal. This guy that I was dating was also a dancer. I remember just showing up at his fucking rehearsal because he wouldn't talk to me. Like, he kept ghosting me. So I showed up. And mind you, I was speeding the entire fucking way there. I was like rage driving. I don't recommend it. Drive safe, kids. But yeah, I remember just showing up, interrupting his rehearsal. I like walked in and grabbed his hand. I was like, we're talking. And like, I caused a fucking scene. But like, that also wasn't like the first time I caused a scene. I've never like yelled or anything like that, like in public or anything like that. But that's kind of like the dramatic scene I would make.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but you're the calmest of us three. I think, I don't know, you both are good damn calm.
I
If it was me, I
suppress
would've-
my shit
yeah.
a lot, is what it is. So
I think I do
let
too.
things
That's
bubble.
why I have an autoimmune disease. Suppressed anger.
So I'm probably right behind you. Like I'm probably leading myself into a fucking autoimmune disease.
Oh my gosh, ladies.
But
Come on,
ever
let it
since I
out.
turned 40, I will say like I do remember seeing like a meme or like a tweet or something that said like you're gonna like let that rage out, ladies, like before you put yourself into some sort of fucking sickness. And yeah, I agree with that. I think I've certainly reached a little bit more of like a, I won't say feral because that's aggressive, but I will say like less fucks given,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I think people
Yeah.
need less fucks given. We need
Yeah.
it. We absolutely need it.
Especially people who care a lot. It's like there's a lot of
Yes.
passion in there.
Oh, yeah.
You care because you want good in the world and good for the people that you're around, but that also there's a caveat with that where it's like you care so much that sometimes like it can negatively impact you too.
And all that energy we're putting out there, we should put it back on ourselves.
Yeah.
Like all this energy I have just stalking his ex or monitoring his social media or
Yeah.
doing that fake profile. That energy I put out there, I should just put it back on me.
Yeah.
Concentrate on myself.
Yeah.
Maybe our relationship.
Yeah.
Like-
I think though too it's like again the guilt. Do I deserve that? And then that's why it's like you go into the spiral.
I know,
So
we
you have
need
to
to
remind yourself
stop
that you
the
deserve
spiral.
it.
Yes, we do. And also, like you said, comparing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what about her did he love so much? Did he treat her so much better than me? Like, it's just a comparison. And I know, like, honestly, you were so strong, Jenny. I would have been freaking out if he's working with girls every damn day.
But there's a reason he's
But
with
you're
you and not them.
Exactly. You're so
Right.
strong. And he chose you over all of them.
Did he though? I'm just playing.
I'll cut that.
All right. But that's some shit I would say to him too, though. Like,
Yeah.
like even though he's like, "I love you, babe," and I'm like, "Do you though?"
We always do that, don't we? We always question when they say, do you, I love you.
It's the
We question it.
validation because you need that validation.
We do. We're
But it's also because
women.
you know you're on your bullshit too sometimes. That like he can't handle, like you know you can't handle his shit all the time, but like I know he can't handle my shit sometimes too. But he does because my passive aggressive shit is a next level sometimes. So
That's a good thing that you can admit it and then
Yeah.
you're working towards fixing that. I think with me, my craziness comes from jealousy.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I think I'm not like when I was younger and early on in me and Dwight's relationship, I was a very jealous person. But I think as we've kind of moved forward in a relationship, less so. But I was laughing because I was trying to think of like crazy girlfriend territory stories, and I remembered like it was like maybe over the summer I had a nightmare that Dwight was cheating on me in my dream.
oh, I
no.
have so many of those. I have
And I
so
was
many of
so
those.
mad that the next day he's like, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "I had a dream you were cheating on me, and I don't want to talk to you." He's like, "What?" And I think about it, I'm like, that's the kind of shit. It's like that internal jealousy is like seeping out, and you're like, "Whoa, okay, what is going on
Coming from
here?"
dreams.
Yes,
What
I'm
were
mad
you-
at you because of a dream.
What were you jealous of? What made you jealous? What made you have all that?
Well, I think in past marriage, but like we weren't in a healthy relationship, and we're really young too, right? We were very young. I had Bella when I was 21, 22. I got married before that, and I think with that and like past relationships where people weren't necessarily faithful or where I wasn't faithful, and then all of that played into like this negative outlook and perspective that I'd have on myself, which would create this like jealousy of, oh, this person is better than me, you're gonna want that person instead. And I feel like with age we were talking about like that no fucks given, you get to a point where like, okay, I don't give a shit. Like, if you want to be with that person, go be with that person then. But I'm obviously actively choosing you and you're choosing me. So that's supposed to strengthen and build that foundation of our relationship. But I think a lot of that jealousy came because when you second guess yourself or you don't think you are pretty enough or smart
You're a little
enough.
self-conscious.
Yes, very, very self-conscious when I was in my late teens and early 20s. Because I didn't feel like very like smart, pretty, whatever, and like all of that I associated with, oh, this person is going to pick me because of these things, rather than looking at it from a perspective of, oh no, they're picking me because of my personality, because of the things that we have in common, because I'm a good person. It doesn't necessarily have to be this physical attractiveness, and I feel like a lot of that stuff, especially when we get older, comes back into play, because you worry then, like, oh, look at all these cute young girls and things like that. But I think that's where a lot of my my jealousy stemmed from, me being self-conscious. And I think the longer I'm in a relationship with Dwight, the more secure I feel. But it's still hard though too, because I come from a lot of trauma. Like, my mom was a single mom, and she was in a lot of abusive relationships, and that's all I saw from a male perspective. I didn't have that healthy male role model in my life, and Dwight is a very stable, healthy person. He's a fucking therapist, for Pete's sake. And like, to me, what he sees as setting boundaries and like, you know, being, you know, steady in his thinking and behaviors with our kids and our family, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, why are you being so mean?
Yeah.
And it's because I see it from this really kind of negative perspective because of my trauma. So I feel like a lot of that stemmed into that jealousy bit too. But I think the longer we're together, the more safe I'm starting to feel. But it's not easy. It never is. And I feel like when I do stupid shit like that, like, oh, I had a nightmare, you're cheating on me, that's like my crazy shit now, and I'm like, where is this jealousy coming from again?
Yeah.
Or even too, like, the fact that he is a therapist, right? And I don't know what he always talks about with his clients, but like, people reveal, like, I'm in therapy, I know the shit I reveal.
Yeah.
And he has a variety of people, men, women, all kinds of people, and I'm like, they're sharing their deepest, darkest secrets with you. What the heck, man? Like, that, again, that could pique that jealousy. But I also know he's super professional, so I don't feel like I have to worry about that. But I can see, again, it's like you get these second thoughts in your mind, like,
Yeah.
and, yeah.
I hear you. And with my current boyfriend, he got together with, you know, his ex-girlfriends at work.
Yeah.
Like, so we don't live in the same state. So
Yeah.
it causes that. I'm like, ooh, who is he working with now? Is he checking her out?
Right.
I have checked his phone. I'm going to be honest. I've gone on his phone. I've checked his phone. Like, that's something I've done. And I know that's very common because I check on Instagram. Everyone writes about that. Checking his phone. Yeah. Is that crazy ex-girlfriend? I mean, not ex-girlfriend. Oops, I'm thinking of the show now. Is that crazy girlfriend territory? I think it's common.
I don't think so, because you know what? If you don't have anything to hide, then, and Dwight and I even had this conversation. I'm like, will you let me look at your phone? If he's like, you know my code? I'm like, I don't remember the number, but like, if you, he's like, yeah, I don't care. Look. And I was like, okay.
Okay, so now you're reminding me.
What are you looking?
You're reminding me of like the last time I did do some crazy girlfriend shit. Okay, so
yes,
I
don't think it's a bad thing either.
I checked his phone, right?
You have to be willing to be open, and that creates safety in your relationship.
Yeah,
I agree. 100%.
Yeah. It was a weird time though, because when I checked his phone, it was like when he was already becoming like withdrawn. He was a little more tired coming home from work than he used to. Plus, he doesn't always like. He stays to work out, but he doesn't go to his location to work out at. So like, I don't know who he's running into, who he's seeing, or whatever. Like, on another note, every time we go out, because we just went to a concert. I swear, every concert we've been to, someone recognizes him. They're like, oh. They're just like, oh, he's a member. And you're like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, why can't I just...
Right.
Does everybody know you? Like, he has such a recognizable face. I get it. So someone is bound to recognize... But it just sucks, too, because you're like, how many people actually know you?
Is that the Justin Timberlake concert?
Yeah, it was...
Oh my gosh. Okay, totally off topic. Just really quick before we get back on that.
Yeah.
Was the harness around his
What?
What?
Like, there was pictures of Justin Timberlake with the harness around you know what.
For real?
Yes! And everyone's making fun of him, calling him itty bitty and like shrimp boy.
Oh my God.
Okay, but I remember like some GQ photos where it wasn't small.
Oh, whoa. Hey.
It was GQ or Men's Fitness or something. I can't remember. It was forever ago. But the man has aged, which is hilarious, honestly, because it's like the man still got moves.
Just a little
I know
slower.
none of the other members of NSYNC can probably move like he can, but like I was like, he old. He old.
He's fine wine.
Fine
or wait, age whiskey.
wine.
Age whiskey.
Whiskey, there we go. That sounds a little bit better.
Southern.
But yeah, checked his phone. I didn't like what I saw. So it started like, this is why we're in couples therapy now, though. Because we just need to communicate more.
Yeah.
But it sets off like it sets off a lot of different things like inside you.
Yeah.
Whether it's like I'll admit now I'm like really self-conscious about my body, which doesn't seem fair.
Body that created two beautiful lives.
Yes, I've created two beautiful children, so no regrets. But like now you see the kind of things that he is into, and you're like, I didn't realize he was into that. Or that's definitely not me. Like this is outside of the realm of like what I thought he was into or liked or whatever. So yeah, it led to like a lot of like weeks of crazy in general. But here we are now, still trying to make it work with couples therapy.
That's a good thing you're trying. You're working through it.
Trying, yeah. After talking with my therapist, who's said
also my therapist.
Yeah,
who's
the same
also
therapist.
We gotta get Stella
soon to be Stella's therapist.
Oh my gosh, mine like gave up on me. I think she ran away.
Which, Linda, if you're listening,
We're telling Stella to call
You're
you
gonna
this
like
week
Stella.
so that you can get her into your schedule.
but also you're gonna
I
find
swear
out
to God,
all
if
our
she
bullshit.
ghosts me, I'm gonna cry. There's another one.
Linda's amazing.
Linda's awesome. So shout out to Linda. You know, this is kind of almost like the last big shot that we're giving this to try and like better understand. Because now I just feel like I'm in a place where like I don't like who I am. Maybe I'm not who I was when we first met.
People evolve and change in relationships.
Yeah, they do. And I think that we forget that too, actually. Like, that was something that was like super revealing to me. Like we evolve, we change. Like we don't even know who we are. And we just continue to like grow as people, parents, individuals like outside of our partnership, right?
Yep.
So like like the work that you still have to continue to do even as like you go through a relationship, a marriage, etc.
Oh yeah.
So
The longer you're with, the more work it takes. Like you're actively choosing to maintain a relationship. There's nothing wrong with that. The fairy tale shit that we see on TV and movies, that's bullshit. That's lies.
yeah,
Nothing is ever, or the picture perfect Instagram wife and husband, like that's BS.
Which,
it is.
Which sucks, is that's what we're fed. And that's like, I'm a hopeless romantic, like hands
Yeah.
down. Hopeless romantic. So I'm like, why didn't you post me? Like you see all these people on Valentine's, like all these guys on Valentine's posting, my best friend, oh my partner, I love you, and I'm over here like texting my boyfriend. Yeah, I'm like, where's
like
my
why didn't
post?
you post me?
Yeah, where's my post? Like I posted on our story like pictures of us. He just reposted what I posted, and I'm like, I was so angry. I was like,
you
that's
wanted
not
something
cool.
more meaningful.
I wanted something else, something more. Like be proud of who you're with. But yeah, I checked the phone too. And, you know, I saw like screenshots of him like taking photos of girls or whatever. And I got mad. I'm like, what the hell is this? So yeah, we fought a little bit about that. Basically, he doesn't want me going into his phone. He changed his password. I don't like that. I know I don't know. That's how he is. He likes his privacy.
Boundaries, I see.
Yeah, he likes his boundaries, and I entered it, and I was looking. Is it because I'm looking for something? Is it because I'm looking for something? Because he's changed a lot of things. Like when we first started dating, he was liking all these girls' posts. Like I see him liking girls' posts, and I got upset about it. He stopped doing that.
Okay.
He changed that for me because, again, Jenny, I know how you relate. Like, it makes you self-conscious. Like,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, that girl does not look like me. She's very young, by the way. Like, I thought
Of
you
course.
liked older. Like, oh, you like this girl who's, 20 years old with ginormous boobs? I have big boobs, but
By
not
the way,
ginormous.
Is
and I'm
it
not
like
20.
another Latina like that he's liking, or is it just like a
No,
white girl? with
white
big boobs?
girls, just random, different race.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Exactly. It just makes you feel so bad. It's like, am I your type? So it gives you, like, and his ex-girlfriends, one of them is totally, like, not Latina at all. The
Yeah.
one that I'm thinking he's obsessed with. That is still in my mind, and I'm working on it. This is me self-sabotaging. I'm working on it because I know I started this. I know
also
it's me.
He's young too. I feel like at that age, mid-20s, they're still like
He's 27,
still-
not mid.
they're still kind of thinking with their peepees, like yo, did you just a hot chick? I mean, like
Yeah, they're more lustful.
well,
I know, it's different stages, but he keeps talking about, like, marriage. He wants to marry me, wants me to move out there, have a house.
well, then you need to tell him that you need safety and security
I
in terms of your relationship.
Dude, I am leaving everything behind. My kids,
Yeah.
my family, my friends. I know I'm going to travel here at least once a month, whatever. But
I mean, you better.
I'm going to, duh. But it just, you're scared.
Yeah.
And I know how, like, you see that, and it just
You pick
gets-
up your whole life
Yes.
just for it
You're
to
trying
like
to find a
go
reason
wrong.
to not follow through with.
So that's the question: is that self-sabotage, or is it just like ex? I'm not ex. I keep saying like crazy ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, I know.
over the show. Or is it just crazy girlfriend territory?
I think you're walking more on the line of you're trying to self-sabotage.
I think so too. Yay, guys! I'm not crazy girlfriend.
Okay, so I want to get your guys' input on some of these crazy girlfriend stories.
Oh my god, I'm terrified. Are you sure I didn't put them in?
Okay. So, like I said, I like to go through Reddit, and I found a few that I want to share. And then I want to hear your insights on this, or if this is something you've ever experienced or done. All right. So, some of these are kind of outrageous.
Ooh.
Okay, I'll start off with the like not so bad one.
No,
that we
start off
talked-
with the crazy one.
crazy
Come
Yeah,
on,
go
get
with
in.
the crazy.
Get
Start
in. We
high.
want crazy. Yes,
Okay.
start high.
Or at least what Jenny thinks is
I know.
high
I mean,
on the-
I'm throwing rings at Jenny.
oh my
I
god.
am so sorry, guys. I need a
I
donut.
feel like the
We're
listeners-
resulting in violence
The
here.
listeners are gonna get confused with the two Jennies.
I know. Okay.
I know we should be like a Jenny and a Jen, right?
Okay, I'll be Jen. You be Jenny.
Okay.
I'm Jen L. Jenny V. All right. So,
Quick, I'm gonna
JV.
try and like take her up real quick.
She could be JV. And
all right. So 6 months into a relationship, my girlfriend and I decided to rent an apartment and move in together.
Ooh, that's fast.
After a couple of months of living with each other, she decided she wasn't happy and wanted to break up with me and move out. After a day of discussing everything, we came up with a plan for her to move out a few days later while I was at work. The breakup went really smooth. No fighting, no pettiness. The most adult ending to a relationship I'd ever been through. Move out day came. I went to work while she moved her stuff. She sent me a text apologizing for things not working out, wanting to stay friends, etc., etc. I concurred. I came home after work. Her things were gone, and she even cleaned the apartment before she left. I had a few drinks that
Wow,
night,
that's nice.
Did she break up with me?
right?
got a little drunk, climbed into bed, and immediately felt something sharp on my legs. She had taken light bulbs and shattered them under the bed comforter. 60 stitches between both legs. I texted her from the ER asking why she would do that. She said she was mad I didn't put up more of a fight for our relationship. Keep in mind, she was the one who wanted to end things. I used those text messages to press charges. She tried to Facebook me about a year later. I did not respond.
Okay, never mind. I don't want her cleaning
Oh
my
my god! Just
townhouse.
right? Just kidding.
You
Yeah,
said
no.
crazy. Just
Wow.
crazy.
Okay, that is crazy girlfriend territory, guys. You are harming someone. That is not cool. Never harm them.
Yeah, if you're putting someone in the hospital, are you
Yeah.
kidding?
That's
Girl.
insane.
All because she felt that he didn't put like, what is that? Like, I'm gonna break up with you to see if you really love me, and then you're gonna fight for me, but you didn't fight for me.
Okay, it's
because
6
I made
months.
the decision.
It's 6 months, first of all. That's like nothing. Like, seriously. Like, we all have underwear or whatever scraps of paper laying around that are older than 6 months.
Wow.
Like, shut up. Back off. You do not harm a person.
some crazy shit.
that is crazy.
Right, especially the fact that she like acted all calm,
Nonchalant,
like
yeah.
Clean the house
super
and
calm,
everything.
right? Leading up to
She's insane. That's not crazy. That's insane. She's not in the cool crazy girl club. She's in the
Ooh.
insane needs
Yeah, I
to be
don't-
in jail.
Sociopathic
Right?
psycho.
Yeah, you do not hurt someone. You don't mess with their livelihood, their job.
Right.
And you do not harm someone.
Yeah.
Like, that's just wrong.
Dodged a bullet. Well, sort of. I mean, still ended up in the hospital, so didn't totally dodge
60
it.
stitches? Ouch.
Yikes.
Light bulbs.
Light bulbs.
Who would have thought of that?
Fucking
Who
crazy
has
person.
60
A
light
psycho
bulbs?
person.
Yo, Mija. I mean, I know Latinas, we get like this like rap for being...
¿Ella era Latina or no?
No, I don't think so. I think
Está
it's
loca.
güerita. But like we get this nasty rap for being like, oh my God, you guys are like
I was going to bring that up
crazy.
too, like the stereotype of being
Yes.
crazy Latinas all the time.
Yes.
Like, are we really?
But we
Because
don't do light bulbs. We know how
don't do
expensive
light
they
bulbs.
are. We don't mess with that.
We have repressed anger and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we get sick because we don't want to like be mean or get mad at people. But
Plus,
we're the crazy
we're
ones.
like the result of past generations,
Yes,
right? So like,
yes.
so maybe past generations. I could definitely say I have a cousin who would fall into the stereotype of crazy Latina.
Yeah. I think we all do.
Right?
Yeah, but I mean,
But
that
I
was
feel
just
like
psychopath.
generationally,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
now we're like more, I don't want to say lukewarm.
A little bit more calma. Like,
We're a little more calm for sure.
I think you guys are
more
lukewarm.
observant.
I'm like a hot chocolate. You guys are like lukewarm. Like I'm like burning, like getting in that, but I would never harm someone.
Wow,
I'm being
damn.
honest. I'm being honest.
it took a lot of therapy.
Can
to get
I
to
at
that
least have like a
point.
little cinnamon or like?
Okay, fine. You are abuelita hot
Abuelita.
chocolate.
There we
You're
go.
abuelita.
Okay,
I am like the
abuelita.
generic hot chocolate you find at like freaking
Swiss Miss.
a Swiss Miss, a crazy ass Swiss Miss that's been laying around that's just angry at life.
We gotta add the marshmallows though. You have the ones with the packet of marshmallows. 'Cause
Yeah,
they're
the
so
ones
sweet.
the marshmallows are stale and just pissed at life. That's me. You're the abuelita, the good one. You are our lukewarm apple cider that I like to add whiskey
Oh, the
to.
apple cider.
Our apple cider.
Like,
Like-
take it.
That girl was
It does
crazy.
come in an alcohol, by the way. So maybe you're the alcoholic version of
Ooh, the
apple
whiskey.
cider.
You do
Not
like
the
older
whiskey.
men. You do like older men. Aged whiskey, remember?
Aged whiskey.
Age comes. Okay, all right. The next one. I think this one isn't as great.
Okay, good. I hope it's not like killing someone.
know, right?
That is not crazy. That is just psycho.
Okay, all right. I recently broke up with this guy, but upon reflection, I can realize that I probably veered into the crazy girlfriend territory. So this is a person that's admitting that they fell into this.
Welcome to the club.
And I want to know how I could stop being that. I would always stalk his Instagram and Snapchat,
Is this me?
literally watching to see if his Snap score would increase and by how much.
Oh,
is he talking to
God.
others? Why is his score going up even though he didn't snap me? Where is he on the map? Why didn't he snap me first today? Why isn't he texting me? I actually took notes on when his Snap score would increase and by how much,
So-
and would cross-reference it 2 other times, which is insanely obsessive. He follows a few Instagram models too, and I'd also compulsively check
Apparently,
his
they all
followers
do.
list on Instagram. Did he follow a new girl? Is she his type?
Jenny, is this us?
I don't
Jenny,
know.
is this us?
This is a
I think
little
this is
too
us.
close to home, I think.
Am I
Yeah.
hot? Am I hotter than her? I then get super
Aw.
crazy paranoid and jealous seeing them comment on his posts or if he talks to
they're
someone else.
commenting?
Oh, that is a bug.
No.
No.
It even got to the point where I was totally uncomfortable with him even having female friends, which I know is insane and totally controlling. That's why I made this post. I don't know how to solve this problem. I fully recognize that this isn't healthy behavior, but I don't know how to stop it.
Aw.
TLDR, I'm insanely insecure, jealous, possessive, and obsessive. How can I stop doing that and being the crazy girlfriend?
Join our podcast.
Okay, I definitely probably think that it is not that girl's fault that she is possessive or jealous. Like, you just
takes
reach
two.
a point, right? Like, you reach a point where, like, is anybody actually mine? Like, is anybody actually in a relationship with me? Like, a committed, mutual respect relationship? Oh, man.
Because does it feel respectful if your partner is liking 5 million posts from some
Exactly.
Instagram model?
It's not respectful. I'm sorry.
I did date a guy
not.
who cared about his Snap score a lot. And that's how he was mainly keeping in contact with me. Which was odd. I thought it was strange that that's how he mostly communicated, through Snap, not necessarily through text. It's interesting though, because like I didn't understand the kind of life he was living at the time too. Like this is already way after I had my first kid. So my first child was definitely at least a preteen at this time. So I thought it was strange. And him and I like knew each other too. Him and I knew each other in grade school, middle school, high school.
Do I have to slash tires?
And
Oh, I'm joking.
so, like, it's not like I didn't know who he was. Like, I knew him. I knew kind of the life that he led, like, after we graduated from high school and stuff. And somehow we reconnected or whatever. But it was, like, through Snap, which was so strange. And, but like I said, that was the main way we communicated. I would see his Snap score go up. And I'm like, this guy, I know he has, like, a nightlife. But he would still message me, like, when are we going to see each other? But I, like, didn't even understand how serious he was being about it either. And I was trying to either play it cool or keep it casual, I guess. I don't know. Because I just wanted to not get hurt, for one, because I did care about him. But also, I'm paying attention. Like, I'm paying attention to what it is that you're doing. I know I'm not the only one that you're talking to. Like, I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
But why Snap? Like, was that a new thing? Was that a thing that I missed? That, like, that's how we were supposed to communicate?
I think it's because it automatically deletes, right?
itself. That was like
Yeah.
originally why.
Yeah.
Like, because
Oh,
people could
right.
sit
Okay,
there
The
so-
cheater's tool.
yeah, it was
You're
a
right.
cheater's
Yes.
tool.
And I do remember that also playing a role in the way that I was treating this relationship because I was like, this is a thing where it erases, right? So our conversations aren't saved. So I was this is why I was trying to play it casual because I didn't know how serious he
You were
was.
wary about it.
So that's so weird.
Yeah.
Snap. Poor
Snap
girl.
chat.
I feel her 100%. But for me, it's more of self-sabotage.
Yeah.
For her, it's what led to that. You were totally right. Like, what led to that?
Insecurity.
Yeah.
Poor
Because
girl.
we're not born insecure.
No.
No.
It takes two in a relationship,
Yes.
and part of that too is creating that safety between the two people, where you feel like, okay, like I feel like that kind of stuff with social media, and I think that's like the difficult part of social media in society today is that like it's so easily accessible and
Yeah.
it's like such a simple thing to just like heart, right? And then
Or
you'll
comment, right?
comment, and it's like it also creates that like that weird thing where it's like, what is it called, like parasocial relationships, right?
Yeah.
Where you think like you know this person, but it's like not really.
But
It's
not
a
really.
stranger.
Right.
So it creates that like weird friction in relationships, I feel like, and then that could also, to me, I feel like that could lead to other things. Like that's not, maybe you're not physically like having an affair or cheating on someone,
But you're emotionally
where's
having
the
one.
emotional bit? Yeah, where's the line where you're crossing that emotional relationship?
Exactly. And it creates that doubt in us. And that's why
Yeah.
we creep. That's why
Do you
we
think that's
check.
worse, like having an emotional relationship with somebody?
I think they both suck. They both suck,
I mean,
personally.
yeah, they all
It
suck.
depends how invested are they in that emotional relationship.
Yeah.
How invested is it going to lead to something? And anytime you're talking to somebody that's not your partner or hiding it from your partner, that is cheating. That's little cheating. That is cheating. When you're talking to someone your partner doesn't know about and you're hiding it from them, talking to other girls.
I definitely
that's
think if you're
cheating.
hiding it, yeah, that's
Yes, you are not keeping your partner in mind. Remember, you have to put your partner first.
Respect.
Respect. Your partner is first. If they're uncomfortable with someone, don't talk to them. Your partner should always be first. And I think that's what she didn't have.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually had this conversation years ago. He had a friend that would constantly like talk to him about personal issues, and it made me feel really uncomfortable. And I would I kind of like held it in for a while, and then one day like we got into an argument about, I'm like, why are they telling you all this stuff? Like, this is weird. Like, I know you're a therapist, but you're not their therapist.
right.
Like, they should get a therapist to talk, because this feels like oddly like uncomfortable for me. And he ended up having a talk with that person. It was like, yeah, this is too much. I'll give you advice, but like, I don't need to know like
I don't need to know
deep-seated
everything.
everything about what's going on. And I respected him a lot for that. It took a lot for me though to like admit, like, this is making me feel uncomfortable and a little jealous, and I don't like, how would you feel if like you and I were having issues and then like I went to some guy and was like
Yeah,
Right.
that's not cool.
yeah,
That's
so,
not cool.
I know, I agree. It's a lot of it. It takes two. It's about respect, and I feel like social media creates this like really thin line of like where you can cross over to like a not very respectful perspective of how you're dealing with, you know, your partner and their feelings, and then like this social media personality or these random ass girls that you don't know but you think are hot, so you're gonna hurt them.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you have someone who is so like self-conscious about that stuff. But I also think too, like, a lot of the problem with some of like these random stories is people don't talk about shit. They hold it in.
They
Yeah,
do.
for
They're
real.
scared because they don't want to be labeled the crazy girlfriend. But it's not crazy again. Like what Jenny said, it's not crazy. It led to that.
Do you ever feel though that like what I'm thinking is probably crazy?
Sometimes it, well, like in that situation, I'm like, this is a person that he's known for like ever, even before he met me. Like,
Right.
am I being like a little like insensitive?
But the
Like,
thing
that
is,
was
you're
my
not.
thought.
You're not.
'Cause,
You are
yeah,
very
it's
laid back.
boundaries. I think that was the
Yes.
big thing, is that I felt like they were crossing boundaries, and he.
But that's cool that he like respected your boundaries
Yep.
enough to be like, all right, let's
Exactly.
kind of modify this relationship
Yes.
a little.
That's how it should be, though. Put your partner's needs first. This is your partner. In this world of chaos and who knows what's going to happen, again, I keep
Yeah.
saying Handmaid's Tale. Who knows what's going to happen?
It's true.
You have your partner. That's the person you're going to rely on.
Yeah.
You have each other. You need to work it out and
Yeah.
ensure that they feel comfortable in the
Yeah,
relationship.
that's your community.
I will say that like speaking of Handmaid's Tale,
Oh, gosh.
that I was like the world feels like it's gonna
And
be a lot shorter capacity. So
Bye-bye,
let's
EPA.
enjoy it, right? I even said like we should probably get married.
Oh, wow. I'm
what I
crashing the
said.
wedding.
I was like, maybe we should get married before like the world completely ends. No comment further on that, but still, I think now with all the world events, it's like you realize how life actually really is short.
Exactly.
So
and
it's
your support
boundaries,
group.
right? Boundaries need to be respected. You generally need to be respected. So,
and love.
and that's why we're in therapy.
Yeah, well, that's also a way to show love too. Is like, you know, you're loved when you feel safe.
Yeah.
When you're
Yes.
respected. When you can communicate honestly those fears and doubts and not feel judged. Like, that creates a lot of safety when you feel love like that.
God, and that still takes work too.
Yeah.
A lot of work.
Because
Yeah.
even after all this time that my partner and I have been together, like, I feel like I constantly have to have this talk to myself, this pep talk to myself, like, I deserve, like, what the love, the safety that I want.
Yep.
And you do. We all deserve love and safety.
Yep.
Every
Agree.
single one of us out there.
Yeah.
Here. We all deserve it.
Did
Shared
you see the
request.
TikTok? It was like a TikTok story about like a wife who would just kind of like creep on her husband. They were married, but like all of a sudden she started pulling this prank of like just showing up and smiling at him. Like she'd be hiding under the bed. And like he would have like the sense that something was under the bed, so he'd look under the bed and she'd see her there just looking at him, smiling.
Is that like Smile Part 3?
That's what it sounded like, right?
Weird.
But it was like some sort of creepy, I guess this just went on in their marriage for a while, and it started to worry him. Like it started to worry him at some point.
worrying me.
Like he'd be in the
Weird.
shower, and
she's
then
just
he'd
like,
find her staring at him, like smiling or whatever. I guess they're separated, divorced, but like she still comes around and like does that.
that's fucking
Wait, is that like, did she just go loony?
I have no idea. Like nobody knows. Like this
weird
is just
stuff.
the part of the story that he shared.
I wanna
So
hear
like he
her
tried to
side,
get
too.
a restraining order.
a restraining order.
Okay, see, like that's like stalker, like weird stuff.
Right, but like how it started off kind of
pain.
innocently, but then it just kind of kept going.
Okay, so there's, you know what that reminds me of?
Besides a horror film.
Yes. Well, that's where I'm leading into. What is it? It's like creepypasta stuff. Like you know those places where it's like in between space and like the weird ass people that you see. What is it called? Liminal space. I feel like that would be like a liminal person. Like she's just there within the space. Have you heard of liminal spaces?
No, I was just about to ask you, like, what is that?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm confused.
What am I missing?
Wait, okay. I'm gonna have to show a picture before
Okay.
we'll pause for a
And
minute.
then we'll explain it to you all. Don't worry, we'll explain it to you all. We're all here in the cheeseman
Don't worry,
together.
Jenny's got her phone.
I'm obviously
Yes.
She's researching real quick.
the internet.
Yeah, we're all cheesemosas together
Liminal
talking
space.
about this.
Okay, so it's a place that's like in between, and it makes you feel like it's creepy. It's like, so a liminal space is a transitional area between two places or states, which can be physical, emotional, or psychological.
like a
That's
hallway.
where the emotional, yes.
Interesting.
It could also refer to a place that seems empty, abandoned, or surreal. So like that's where I get the like it sounds surreal, like you're under the bed and then he lifts it up and she's just smiling
Oh,
at him
yeah.
creepily. It's like the kind of stuff that you see in creepypasta. So like abandoned malls or liminal spaces, like that's the kind of
I
vibe of
see.
the weird, creepy people that I would see.
Or like those rooms that are like
Yes.
underground apparently or whatever.
Yes. So,
Yeah, I
like,
know what you're
this
talking
kinda
about.
Weird stuff.
Oh, that's The Shining, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Shining hallway, something like that.
I mean,
would be
that's a good
liminal
point.
space.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would be like a person that would be like part of a liminal space. It's creepy. It's just weird. Like, why would you
Seriously,
do
out of all
that?
the things, you were in a loving marriage and you just pulled this up. I want to hear her side. Like, what led her to do this?
I don't think I want to hear her side.
I feel like it's like a
I'm intrigued.
psychological thing. Like you're messing with someone's head. Like why?
She clearly messed with hers too.
right.
Why is she
Like,
messing
why
with
did
his
it lead
head?
to this? Yeah.
And to the
Yeah.
point where it made him so anxious that he needed to get a restraining order.
Yes, and divorce.
That's crazy girlfriend stuff right there.
No, that's beyond crazy girlfriend. That is lunatic. There's like psychopath. This is lunatic. She's not harming, but she's really creeping him out.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever have creepy boyfriends? Like, since we're
Ah.
Oh man,
let's keep it equal.
Yes, definitely.
Creepy. I mean, I don't want to say creepy like on the side of
No,
danger.
mine's
Just
creepy.
like weird behavior.
Oh, weird behavior. Yeah, there was one guy I was dating. I lived in my parents' guest house. Like it's like a little apartment attached to the house. I don't know where I went. I was in the backyard. I came back. He was in my apartment sniffing my dirty underwear and my dirty laundry. Oh,
The dog is back.
Yeah, they just freaked out. He was sniffing my dirty underwear. And I was like, what the hell? Like, how did you get in, first of all?
Oh
And
my
you're sniffing
God.
my underwear.
That's
Yeah. So that is very, to me,
weird.
it's very creepy. So I had that. Yeah. There was one that used to
man.
steal my underwear and bras. And you know how expensive bras are. So it makes me really sad thinking about those poor bras. Rest in peace.
oh man. Stella, I'm sorry.
Yeah, just weird guys out there. Like, just crazy weird. That's why I'm like, this one is the one. I love him. He doesn't smell my dirty underwear.
I don't have any story to top that. That's pretty awesome.
I don't either, actually.
What?
I thought I did. I thought I did.
Well, share it still. Come on.
Dude.
So I remember dating like he was okay. He was like a friend of my friend. She was like getting married. So this was like her fiance's friend, essentially. So him and I started dating. It was odd. Like he was just like an odd character. But he was still really sweet, really good looking. Loved to do karaoke, which was fun. He only did the one song. Like he only did one song.
He's not a true karaokeer.
Right, exactly. He only did one song,
place
which he
by my
thought he
house.
could nail. But like I saw a few instances where he didn't nail it. But either way, like my friend was getting married, right? Honestly, we probably only slept together once. And I can't even remember like how we ended things, but it was so strange. Just it was like a mixture of ghosting, but he would still show up sometimes randomly. But also we're all mutual friends, so we would be at parties together too. And he would be like weirdly standoffish, like almost angry, like petty. But we ended things like mutually, I guess, right? So why act petty? Like I don't understand the pettiness part of it. But I do remember the wedding came up. We finally he had a new girlfriend. I had a new boyfriend at the time. And he was telling everybody that it was just a sex thing. But I was like, we slept once. We slept together once, dude. Like, why are we changing the narrative of this whole thing
To make himself sound cooler.
Right, exactly. It was
That's
just
kind of
this, it was
petty.
just about sex. And I'm like, but you also kind of ghosted me too. And then you would act petty in my presence.
Rude.
And now you're telling everybody that it was just a sex thing.
You dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
No, I totally did. He was very strange. And I think at some point too that even my friends like cut him off too at some point because that's just like how much of an odd character he was. So
Okay. With me,
that
the
doesn't
only
top
thing
anything
I
that Stella
can-
just did. So
No,
sorry.
because mine's isn't as like mine's is just messed up. It's not like that. That's a story, Stella.
yeah, seriously.
That guy is a petty a-hole.
Yeah, is he a Gemini? A male Gemini? They're
Well,
very
that's a
petty.
sign.
Oh, that's a great question.
They're petty.
I want to say he probably is.
Oh gosh, no.
I can't remember though, but like Gemini sounds about right. Anyway,
All right, I
continue.
feel like
Jen.
Geminis are two spectrums because I love my mom.
Well,
She's
duh.
a Gemini.
I'm one too.
But then I'm a Scorpio and you're a Gemini.
I'm a Gemini.
And then what? Jenny, you're a Taurus.
I'm a Taurus.
Right? Yeah. What a combo with us three.
Oh gosh. Well, it makes sense.
It does make
It
sense.
does make sense.
All right, so I was obviously a very monogamous person my whole entire life. I've been with Dwight forever. Before him, I was married. Before that, there was like one in between, and then I was in a long-term relationship from high school through college.
Oh wow.
And
But you were one of those. Like
I was
you
that
always
kid.
had one of those like in high school. Like there was someone that started dating in high school, went through college together, eventually got married. But like
that was the plan. It didn't quite work out.
right.
But after him, before the wedding part, there was one guy, and he gave me an STD.
What?
Oh,
Yep. I got HPV from him.
Oh my gosh. I know that was like years ago, but as a petty Gemini, I want to go slash his tires right now. That's not cool.
So I dodged a bullet. Obviously, he was sleeping around, and then I get an STD on top of it.
Did he deny it?
Yep.
Oh.
And I had to call him, and then my ex too, because
Oh my
it was like
God, 'cause
in
you had to-
between. Because me
Wow.
and the ex were like on again, off again, on again, off again near the end of our relationship, just because. Again, the self-consciousness, like, I don't know, long distance, I don't know who you're with, you know, and then
it's scary.
we broke up, and then I slept with this kid, and then we decided to, like, get back together, and then, voila, and I was like, oh, great, and I had
I bet
to
you he
call
didn't
and
even
tell
know
him.
though.
Yeah. Probably not, but yeah, that was my horror
Because
story.
HPV is like a elusive type of like
Yeah.
non-revealing type of STD.
You don't know you have it until you have the symptoms. And then some men don't even have symptoms. Oh, it was horrible. Horrible. That was not a fun thing to experience when you're 19 years old.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my God, 19.
That was a
Oh, I prefer the guy
an
smelling my
asshole.
underwear over that any day. I prefer it.
Go get your HPV shot if you haven't yet.
Yeah, I did that.
Disclaimer
I
to all
did
the
that.
teenagers as well.
I do have HPV too. I had my suspicions that I did get it from a white guy. Didn't show up until many years later, because they even said like how HPV in women can be dormant.
Yep. And it could lead to cervical cancer. I
Right.
had to get checked for like 8 years every 6 months because I had weird like cells in my uterus.
Abnormal paps or whatever.
Oh.
Anyway, but yeah. And I remember asking the pharmacy, like, so if you already have HPV, can I get the HPV vaccine? They're like, yes.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, thank God. Because we want to keep cancer out of the fucking,
Yes.
everything.
100%.
Yes.
out of everything. So we had two insane stories, right?
Yes.
Two psychotic stories, and then like us just, so we're normal.
Yeah.
Checking phones is
See,
normal.
told you. Crazy girlfriend territory is normal. We all encounter it somehow. But we
Yeah.
got to remember in the end that we need to put all this energy into ourselves and
Yeah.
not that person. Because if it's meant to be, it will be. I've been told this all the time.
Yeah.
The universe is going to give you what you need.
Yep.
We just got to trust in it. Just believe in ourselves, work on ourselves. We have families,
Yep.
we have kids. Believe in ourselves because we deserve more than that. And you know what? We deserve better than stalking an ex-girlfriend. We deserve better
Yeah.
than stalking the guy. Because if he is supposed to be ours, he will be.
Yep. And if you're in a long-term committed relationship, communication
Yes.
is so important with these kinds of things.
Yeah.
Communicating how you feel to your partner, telling them, this doesn't make me feel safe and secure. This makes me feel uncomfortable. Why are you doing this? This doesn't make me feel good. And then working through that together versus holding it in and
create a
not
safe space.
saying anything.
Which we're
Just
proud
your
of you,
little
Stella,
family.
for even admitting
Yep.
to your guy that like
I did admit it.
hey, I'm crazy.
I think after today, he's going to find out that I'm like checking on the ex-girlfriend now. Social media.
I mean-
damn it, he did not know that one. But I'm going to be honest.
we all
I
do it?
have. Yeah, we've all done it.
We've all done it.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm happy for her. I wish her the best.
But
I
he's
mean,
not
you don't
with
have to
her
say
for
all
a
that.
reason. He's not
didn't
with
work
her
out.
for a
Yeah.
reason, and he's with you for a reason.
And and I'm happy and I
But
love
you don't
him.
have to say all that about her for sure. Like you don't owe her anything.
I don't know her anything. Yeah, she's just whatever.
She's just existing somewhere else.
But remember to be you. Remember to put all that energy on yourselves because you're one of a kind. You are amazing. If they can't see that, they can go F themselves. And the world's going to give you what you deserve and what you need. And just remember, you deserve to be happy
Yes.
and confident. We need to work on that because we are all
Confidence, for
beautiful mujeres allá, or beautiful men. We're wonderful. We're loved. There's always someone's going to love you out there.
Thanks, Amiguis, for joining us on Listen Mija, our first episode. We look forward to having you with us next week. Make sure you tune in for some more chisme, sabiduría, some more real stories, real talk, and you've got a seat at our table always. Can't wait to see you next week. Bye.
Bye.